Hey everybody, get in here, get in here. Let me tell you this. I love helping people. I really do. I wake up every single morning and I dedicate my day, I dedicate my life to looking at how I can help people, how I can help improve people's lives. I live my life for the purpose of helping people. Let me tell you this. A lot of y'all talk about MJ, you help me out so much. Guess what, baby? I know it's my mission. That's what I do. I do it intentionally. But let me tell you this. Don't let this smile and this cashmere fool you. All right? I love to help people. I have a kind spirit. But one thing I'm not is a doormat. I used to be one. And I'm going to tell you about my path from being a doormat to having actual boundaries in my life and learning that it is my responsibility to teach people how to treat me. So I want you all to come in here. I want you to click like on this video. I want you to click share on this video. And I want you to watch and listen very closely, all right? Let me tell you this. You will literally give your happiness away behind trying to be everything to all people, behind not setting boundaries, behind letting people walk all over you. I can tell you that I lived most of my life, well into my 20s, all right? 'Cause I'm 32 right now, right? So well into my 20s, literally being a doormat, okay? Letting people walk all over me. You know, the kind, tell me, do you relate to this kind of feeling where you have an argument with someone or a disagreement, right? The argument ends, the other person walks away seemingly feeling like it was resolved. Meanwhile, you're driving home, you are in your car, you're wherever you are after the fact, and you're thinking about all the things that you should have said, all the points you should have made, all the things you wish you had said, and you're literally tightening your stomach because you didn't say that. Or I want you to consider this. Consider when I want you to see if this relates to, for any of y'all, where you're doing something for someone. Maybe you are doing a favor, maybe you're at an event for them, you're doing something for them, and you don't want to do it, but the reality is that you're doing it simply because you didn't know how to say no, or you knew how to say no, but you were afraid to say no because you didn't want to hurt their feelings, all right? Or let's think a little bit further about this, where you have that family member or that friend where literally this person talks to you any old kind of way. You know that they talk to you funny, and you say, you know what, the way they treat me just isn't right. But somehow or another, you struggle to speak up for yourself. And let's push it a little bit further. Let's push it a little bit further. Some of y'all can relate to this. Maybe you're in a workplace and you have a boss or a coworker who, you know, they just seem to cross the lines of what we would refer to as professional boundaries, right? They just say some things where just you say, you know what? I don't know that I should be being spoken to like that, right? And you're living your life literally being a doormat. You're living your life literally letting people walk all over you emotionally. And let me tell you this, and I want you to listen very closely. They're not the problem. They're not the problem. I don't care how inappropriate they are. I don't care what they do. They are not the problem. It's you that's the problem. These are some strong words, and I mean every last one of them. Because here's the thing. You cannot change your relationship dynamics until you accept that it is your responsibility to teach people how to treat you. Now, y'all know I didn't make that up. That's a concept that's been around for as long as time has been around. We are responsible for the energy that we allow into our environment. The only folks who don't have control over the energy that they invite into their environment is children, right? Because children got to deal with whoever's around them. But the minute that you're grown, the minute that you have agency over yourself and control over your environments, where you place yourself and who you allow within your environment, it is up to you to determine how do you want to be treated and how do you communicate that to other people so that they can effectively meet that need. And here's the thing, it's a win-win even if they don't meet the need, right? Because here's the thing, I say speak up for yourself and tell people how you want to be treated. Let them know when they've crossed the boundary. Let them know when they've stepped on your toes. And if they don't like it, guess what? You still win. Because if they don't like it, then they will move out of your life because they say, you know what? I don't agree. I don't think I was wrong, and and this is just how I'm going to be. When people say, well, this is who I am, this is how I'm going to be. Well, guess what? What they are really doing is they are writing their pink slip right out of your life, all right? So you win because that then creates space in your life for you to bring in someone else who can treat you the way that you deserve to be treated. Or the opposite can happen, which is also a win, which is that person says, you know what? I hear you. My apologies. what can I do in order to treat you in the way you deserve to be treated in this space? What can I do to make you feel more respected? What can I do not to step in your toes in that way? And you all have a conversation, and then the relationship grows from there. It is a win-win whenever you communicate your boundaries to people, right? It is a win-win whenever you let it be known, this is the way I deserve to be treated, and this is what I expect from you, or this is the mark that you're not meeting for me, and how can we work on making sure that we can get to a place where I'm able to have my needs met and you are able to have your needs met. The reason why so many folks struggle with being able to communicate that, number one, is fear of abandonment. Their fear that if I communicate what my needs are, if I communicate, this is how I deserve to be treated, this is how I want to be treated by you, and you're not meeting the mark, the fear is, what if this person abandons me? What if this person doesn't want to be in a relationship with me anymore? What if this person doesn't want to deal with me anymore? So that's the first fear, and I think I've already addressed that. That fear really is just a figment of your imagination. It really is just a remnant of a mindset of scarcity. It's a mindset that says that even though you're not getting what you need from this person in terms of the way they're treating you right now, you would rather deal with subpar treatment than be without this person. And the reality is that even if this person left your life because somehow or another they weren't willing to meet your needs and give you what you want, need, and deserves in terms of treatment, offering you a healthy dynamic within the relationship, even if they chose to do that, you still win, because that creates space for someone else to come into your life who can benefit you. Now I want you to consider this also. If somebody can clearly hear you say, hey, the way you treat me really doesn't work for me, I really don't like it, and then they're willing to walk simply because of that, well, tell me this. How much does that person really deserve to be in your life in the first place? If someone really is going to walk out of your life simply because you asked them to raise the bar and offer you a level of treatment that reflects what you want, need, and deserve, that they're willing to leave right out of your life, that's a person who really and frankly is showing you, I'm really not healthy enough to be in your life. I'm not going to be able to offer you what you need. In fact, by keeping me in your life, this is going to be a toxic dynamic, because their feelings and what they want, they place it at such a high level within their mind. They give it so much priority that you will always be in the backseat. They're willing to walk out of your life rather than giving you a healthy dynamic and respecting the boundaries that you set for them. That is a person that you don't want in your life, all right? And I didn't recognize that early on. I didn't recognize that at all. I thought that my greatest fear was, I said, I don't want to set any boundaries, and I don't want to have to teach people how to treat me, because what if they walk away? What if they don't want to be here anymore? And then I'm going to be all alone, and or I won't have this friend anymore. I won't have this partner anymore. And what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? And what I had to really accept for myself was that the greatest gift that I have is myself, right? You know, that's the greatest gift. I am my greatest gift, and I am disrespecting the gift that I am by allowing anybody into my space who's not willing to respect my boundaries, right? Especially after I've communicated those boundaries to people. It is my responsibility. This is what I had to teach myself, and this is what I had to really take in, that it is my responsibility to teach people how to treat me. All right. Now, at this point in my life, I don't really struggle with that too much at all. And I will tell you about that a little bit more, about what just the freeing feeling that comes from not struggling with teaching people how to treat me. All right. The freeing feeling that comes from it is usually what happens right in the aftermath, after I have communicated to someone that they have crossed a boundary that I do not want them to cross, or that this is a boundary that I would like for them not to cross in the future, right? When I'm teaching them how to treat me, it can sometimes be a little hard to articulate it at first. I'm like, okay, gotta take a deep breath. But the freeing feeling comes after I have articulated it, because now we have set a really level playing field where you know what I want, what I need, and what I expect of your participation in this relationship with me, right? And I know what you expect of me, because it's not just enough to tell people what you need and teach them how to treat you. You need to be receptive to having other people tell you the same thing, right? You got, if you're going to put it out there, then you have to be able to receive it as well. So now it's an even playing field, and now we can be accountable to truly be able to have a healthy relationship together, whether it's business, whether it's personal, whether it's romantic. And that's the freeing feeling. We don't have to guess anymore around, is this going to step on your toes? Is this going to bother you? Is this no. We've already put it out there. And therefore, if you don't meet my needs at that point in time, or I don't meet your needs at that point in time, then we already know what the points of escalation are. The points of escalation is that we're going to bring this up again. We're going to chit-chat about it again. We'll talk through it again. And if it still doesn't resolve, if it's still something where we're still not getting our needs met, then we know that this is a relationship that probably needs to dissolve or change in a way where we really have less contact and less interaction with each other, because we've proven that we're not able to meet each other's needs. We've proven that even though we're trying to teach each other how to treat one one another, somehow or another there's a disconnect here. We are having a philosophical impasse around what it means to meet one another's needs, and therefore we need to part ways, you know? That's really freeing to me, at least, because it lets me know that when a relationship now ends within my life, I don't have to wonder, would this relationship have worked out had I just spoken up for myself a little bit more? Could that person have improved if maybe I just told them what I needed, you know? Because I will tell you the truth, in the past, I think back and I say, wow, there were some friendships, some romantic relationships, some business relationships that I really do think that I ended prematurely because I wasn't willing to stand up for myself and tell people, hey, this is what I need. And because I wasn't willing to stand up for myself and say, this is what I need and this is how I need you to treat me, what I inevitably did was that I became passive aggressive. So what I would do is I would distance myself, I would pull myself away, I would end the relationship and not really tell them the real reason why. And then that person was at a distinct disadvantage. A lot of people are capable of meeting your needs and treating you the way that you want to be treated, but they don't know what to do because you've not told them it. They are not psychics. Nobody is walking around here with a roadmap to understanding how to be in relationship with you. So when you don't speak up for yourself and teach people how to treat you, you put yourself in a position to then distance yourself, and you could be prematurely ending a very healthy relationship that could grow into something powerful. And so that's really freeing to me at this point in my life to know that by teaching people how to treat me, by setting clear boundaries for people and communicating those boundaries very clearly and very consistently, then what that does is that frees us to be in a truly intimate and honest relationship with each other where we can offer our very best because we know what the other person wants, needs, and expects. And then therefore, if someone doesn't meet the mark consistently, then we also know that we gave it our best, but hey, I just couldn't give you what you really need in this area, or you just couldn't give me what I need in this area. No love lost. You know what I needed. I told you what I needed. You told me what you needed, and somehow or another there was just a disconnect. And then we can move on and we can have a level of closure to be able to say, you know what? They know what I needed. I know what they needed. It just wasn't being offered, so we moved on. We did our best. It is what it is. So when I talk about teaching people how to treat you, I'm not talking about being flippant or being dismissive and saying, either do this for me or else, right? It's not about that. It's not about treating people like that. It's not about being in your relationships like that. It's about simply saying, this is what I need. I'm willing to communicate it. My voice is important enough and is strong enough that I'm going to use it to say what I want, need, and deserve. If you step on my toes, I will let you know not only that you stepped on my toes, why that's an issue for me, and what I need from you. I'm going to ask you what you need from me, and then that's going to set the stage for us to have a stronger and healthier relationship. Teaching people how to treat you is not just a one-sided thing. When you teach people how to treat you, you indirectly give them permission to do the same for you, to teach you how to treat them, which then sets a very firm foundation for you to have a healthy and productive relationship for moving forward. That's what true intimacy is, when you can have the communicative highways open with no roadblocks there because everyone is communicating, this is what I need, this is what I need. You don't have to worry about having blow-ups. Some of the people I know with the worst temper issues are people who are not very good at communicating their needs, right? Because a lot of times what you think is you say, well, if someone doesn't communicate their needs, or they kind of are, more passive, then that's probably someone who's not going to have a temper. No. Some of the people I know with the worst temper issues are people who have a very hard time communicating what their needs are. So what they do is they let other people step on their toes consistently, never speak up for themselves, and then they blow up and flip out on everybody and saying, well, da-da-da, and da-da-da, and if you hadn't treated me like this, and and last year you did this, and last month you did this, and yesterday you did that, and the other person's like, whoa, I didn't even know I did anything. I didn't know I did anything at all, And the reality is that now this person looks like a jerk because they're flipping out, having all this anger popping up. The other person is feeling damaged and emotionally distressed because somebody just literally ripped their soul out by going off on them, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about because some of y'all been on both ends of this, right? And the reality is that that situation of having the volatility and the blow up never would have had to happen if somebody had just learned to speak up for themselves, teach people how to treat them, communicate their boundaries when issues aren't a big deal, when they're small, when the issue first happens, say, hey, when you said that kind of bothered me, just want to put it out there. I know it wasn't your intention. In the future, would you mind kind of coming at me differently? Saying that in the moment is going to allow you to have a much more managed response than saying it a month from then when the person has stepped on your toes so much and now you flipping out and the other person is looking at you like you're crazy. You know what I mean? Some of y'all are trying to figure out how do you manage your anger? How do you manage your temper? Well, the key to managing your temper is not just counting to 10 and breathing deep breaths. The key to managing your temper is learning how to teach people how to treat you early on before the issue becomes a major issue, right? So when you learn to teach people how to treat you, you're not just teaching them what to do for you, you're also creating a space for you to be able to remain in an emotionally even and calm space where you're able to manage your own emotions, because you don't have to worry about having blow-ups and dust-ups, because you know that you are consistently and clearly and calmly communicating your needs. Just communicating. No anxiety, no tension. Hey, this is what I need. Hey, this is what I need. Hey, this is what I need. What do you need? And then it creates a culture of openness. It creates an openness of a culture of communication where you have this healthy dialogue. We don't have to worry about blow-ups, and you don't have to worry about passive aggression. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It's just an open, honest relationship where people are able to communicate their needs. So what I'm telling you right now is teach people how to treat you. Give yourself permission to be honest with yourself about your needs, right? Because some of y'all are not honest with yourselves about your needs, all right? So give yourself permission to be honest with yourself about what your needs are, about the things that you like and dislike about how you're being treated. Give yourself permission to not only be honest with yourself, but to also communicate that. Not being worried about, well, this person, if I communicate this to them, I don't know if they're going to take it the best way. It's not your business how they take it. It's your business to communicate your needs. If they don't take it well, guess what? They're writing their pink slip out of your life, or they're writing their way to change the role in your life, right? Because they don't need to be that close. If they can't hear your needs, then guess what? They don't need to have a position in your life where they can touch on your stuff too much. Sometimes people need a little distance. They need to be in another space, right? Sometimes you got to demote people in your life because they don't have the emotional bandwidth to give you what you need. But you don't hold back your needs and hold back communicating about them simply because you're worried about how they're going to react to them. No, you communicate your needs, you communicate what you want, you tell them what your boundaries are, and then you let them respond accordingly. And however they respond, that then dictates your next step to be able to determine what space that person should have in your life. Because sometimes people will respond in a way where you say, you know what, you've responded so well, I want to draw you closer because I feel even closer to you. I feel safer with you. Or some people respond in such a way where you say, you know what, babe, we need a little distance. We need a little distance because you don't have the emotional capacity to be able to hold me in a safe space. Love you to death, nothing against you. You're just not at a level of emotional maturity to give me what I need right now. I'm not holding that against you. That's your own path, all right? I'm just not there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demote you to another space in my life where, based on your emotional capabilities, you can do well within that space. Let me tell you this. As an employer, right, my first response when I see someone not being able to meet the needs of a role that I've given them within my company is not to fire them. My first response is to say, hey, how can we move them into a role where they can be successful at? When you communicate your needs to someone and they respond in a negative way, or they respond in a way where they're not taking it in, or they say, you know what, you lying, you don't really feel that way. You know, people can be dismissive of your needs. That doesn't mean to get them out of your life. That simply means, let me move you to a space in my life where you can be more successful within it, because this space is specifically designed for somebody like yourself with with limited emotional capacity to be able to give me what I need within this area. You're limited in this area, so let me give you a space in my life that accommodates where you are within your growth, all right? I'm not going to put you out just yet unless you're just completely toxic. So nonetheless, y'all get the point. You get the point about what I'm saying. Teach people how to treat you. Set boundaries. Don't be afraid to set boundaries. Do it, do it, do it. It sets you free to have the type of relationships that you truly want, need, and deserve. Let me tell you this. I'm going to be in Atlanta on February the 17th for my MJ Harris Experience Tour. We're going to be announcing new dates soon for additional cities. I want y'all to sign up. That's www.mjharristour.com. That's mjharristour.com. I cannot wait to see you all there. I'm so looking forward to it. So I want y'all to have a good evening. I want you to share this video, like this video. I see Karen here. I see Kay here. I see Greg. I see Shirley. I see all of y'all. I'm glad you enjoyed this video. For those of y'all in the Atlanta area, I look forward to seeing you all. And for those of y'all in my other cities, which I'll be announcing soon, I look forward to seeing you all there too. All right? Teach people how to treat you, baby. That's the highway. That's the freedom. That's the path, really, to creating the types of relationships that you truly want, need, and deserve. And more importantly, the type of relationships that are healthy for you. All right, folks. Bye-bye.